Today, I'm going to be predicting the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that's really about it. I will post my full bracket in a community post, but I just I'm not going to take all the time to go through a full bracket in one video. In the second round, when this bracket is wrong, probably completely, I will do another video, second chance. But let's go ahead and get into it. First off, with the Stars versus the Golden Knights. I'm going to take the Stars in this series. I feel like they're a lot more balanced of a team than the Golden Knights. Obviously, about everyone is rooting for the Stars because of the injured reserve and stuff like that from Vegas and all of the cap circumcision, whatever. Um, the I do think the Stars are the better team though. So I'm gonna go with them to beat the Golden Knights in this series. I think it will be 6 games, maybe 7. I don't see it being less than 6 though. I do think the Knights are a good team, but I think that the Stars will edge them out here and are gonna be the winners of this series. The Jets versus the Avalanche. This is probably the toughest series in my opinion because I can't see the Avalanche losing in the first round. But I feel like the Jets are the better team. So it's just kind of a situation where you you don't really know. It's hard to predict, really. So I just think that Jets are the better team. I think the Avs do have so much fight in them though to not lose in the first round. The Avs do have the better star power when it comes to their defense. Not maybe not defense, but their forwards, they have the better top star power. But the Jets are so good as well. The Jets have such a great defense. The Jets have such great goaltending. And it's not like their forward group is pitiful. So I will take the Jets. But this will be a 7 game series. No doubts in my mind. And for my upset of the first round, not because you have to choose an upset, but because I do think this will happen. I think the Predators are going to move on and beat the Canucks. I don't hold anything against the Canucks. I think they're kind of cool, whatever. Not a Canucks fan, not a Canucks hater. But I do think that the Predators, they're just steamrolling so much right now. I do have a feeling if they drop the first game in the series, they aren't going to move on past the Canucks, though. But if they can win that first game, I do think the Predators will take the series. This will go 6, 7 games. I'll take 7 on this series. But the Predators have just been steamrolling so much right now. And I just think it's going to be hard to stop them. They're going to have so much fight. And I think it's going to be a great series in general. And with the Oilers versus the Kings, I could see another upset here with the Kings beating the Oilers. But I do think that the Oilers are a good enough team to overcome the Kings. Um, the Oilers do have very good. Obviously, they have great star power. Hyman, McDavid, and Draisaitl. Bouchard has really stepped up this year too. Goaltending's a little weak, but it's still good. I do think though that the Kings are so good defensively, the Oilers might struggle some here, and that it will definitely be a tough series. Moving on next to the Eastern side, we have Florida versus Florida. So the Panthers versus the Lightning. I do think the Panthers will come out on top here. I feel like, people are just starting to talk about now, well, the Lightning have what it takes to win in the playoffs. They've been there, they've done it. And I feel like when people start talking like that, that team is coming close to the end of their run. Right? I do think the Lightning are still a great team, and it wouldn't surprise me if they won. I just do have Florida favored here. I think it'll go to 6 games, and I think that the Panthers will come out on top here. Moving up next to the Bruins versus the Leafs. Lots of history here. I'm going to take the Boston Bruins here. I know that seems to be the popular pick. The Leafs are kind of, even Leafs fans are saying, no, we're going to lose to the Bruins, which they're probably not wrong. I do think the Bruins will win. And I just think that the Bruins, they're going to be hungry. They lost last year terribly, right? Well, not terribly, but they did. It was a terrible first round loss. are the best team probably of NHL history points wise, then you sell a 3-1 series lead in the first round. That's not how you want to end a season like that. But I will take the Bruins here. And next up here we have the Rangers versus the Capitals. This is the Rangers, and I might take the Rangers in 4. I'll say 5 though. I think the Capitals might pull away in game 4. Maybe just some desperation, but I'll take the Rangers in 5 probably every day of the week. With our last matchup here, we have the Canes versus Islanders, and I'm a Canes fan, so I have to take the Canes here. But this almost feels like upset territory, and I really don't want to say that. I do believe, not just with my heart, but with my brain, the Canes will take it in 6. But this does kind of feel like upset territory, almost like the Kings versus Oilers does. Right? So you know how it feels like if the Kings just do enough right, they could win. But I don't think the Islanders are as good as the Kings. I don't think they have the same power as the Kings. So that's why I'm going to take the Canes here in 6. Maybe 5. We'll keep it 6 right now, though. So that was my in-depth, whatever, of the first round. I'll go ahead and fill the rest of it out here. I have the Stars beating the Jets, Oilers beating the Predators. I have the Oilers moving on here from the Stars, which I feel like every year almost I've taken the Oilers to move on. So that might be a questionable decision. I didn't post any predictions last year, but it does feel like I do take the Oilers to move on an awful lot. So maybe I will take the Stars. We'll just take the Oilers. I do have my actual paper bracket out, written out, and I did take the Oilers, but I'm starting to rethink it. With the Panthers versus Bruins, we're going to take Boston this time around. No, I'm sorry. On my paper chart, I do have the Bruins winning, or the Panthers winning. So we're going to take the Panthers. So the Canes have their second rematch of this Stanley Cup final, or Stanley Cup playoffs. And I think that the Canes do get their revenge here and do beat the Panthers. And I think that the Canes will come out on top here because they're my team. But in reality, we're going to get swept in the first round like a bunch of bums that we are.